spinning away from the double team, then throwing it down on Paul Millsap.
Paul Millsap had no chance right there.
You got to try to defend, though, right?
He showed Paul Millsap respect.
Yeah,
he could have been worse on him afterwards.
He's been a little, the last couple games, he's been a little less of the, like, finger waving and
playoffs
Jamal Murray set him up for that one, though. I'm glad he could try to contest the shot, but hey, man.
He is an impressive specimen.
Wow.
Indeed, man.
Impressive in every way. Miss College. Missouri freshman Michael Porter Jr. has declared for the NBA draft. So he only played 53 minutes of college before he had that awful injury. How much is that going to affect his draft stock, Brian? He's
going to go in the top 10, Rachel, because he's got an NBA frame. His game is ideal for today's style. He's tall and can shoot. They're going to look at his back, but the feeling amongst NBA executives is the surgery he had is recoverable. It's more in the middle of his back. So he's going to have to do well in his interviews, but I think we will see him going in the high lottery.
Oh, yeah, of course. What, Kyrie played how many games?
Yeah, exactly, 11 or something, right? So there you go. Make pampering the Trailblazers is amazing. A team outing at the nail salon to get some pedicures.
Love it.
Tracy, what light can you shed on this for us?
Well, you know, this is a time of just some R&R to yourself, pampering yourself, and that's me right there. Like, that is today. I got a call from my producer, and he had the nerve to ask me if I get mani and pedis. And I just happened to be getting one at that time.
Tracy, that's
got to groom yourself.
Tracy,
keep yourself up.
In the hotel room. Did you have them come to your hotel room to get private in your hotel room?
I got a lot of money to do that.
Yes, you do.
Amazing. Shout out producer Steve for prepping Tracy during his pedicure. Accuracy, Sun Celtics game last night. Is this an alley-oop?
No, I think Josh has turned the bad pass into something good.
Right?
Tyler didn't try to do that.
That's the highlight of Josh's rookie season. I will say that.
Oh, my, shots fired.
Brian has been anti-Josh Jackson since before the draft.
Well, you listen to people at the draft, they thought he was the next Larry Bird.
See, there we go. Once again, make muscles. Watch Julius Randle working on Blake Griffin here. Body him.
Come on.
Ooh,
Blake.
Now, Blake had a good night in a lot of other ways last night, but this particular clip is pretty cool.
Julius Randle.
Right? Dude,
hold on. I don't know this. I don't know this. Is this contract year?
Why, yes, it is.
That was a contract move right there. Man.
There it is.
That was a man's move.
Miss Jumpers. Duke signee Zion Williamson absolutely dominating the Powerade Jam Fest last night. How good was this dunk? Would this have competed in the NBA?
This dunking is off the charts, but I want to see some game.
Yeah.
Now, listen, I have been told that he is not right-handed.
He's left-handed.
Now, look at that move.
He's left-handed.
And he's 18 years old. If they didn't have the one-and-done rule, which is going away anyway, I think he'd be in contention, top 5 pick in the NBA.
He's ambidextrous, but I see too many of his highlights being dunked. I want to see skill.
Well, that's what he's supposedly going to go to college for. That's what, you know, you go to Duke, you go to Coach K finishing school, you stay there for half a semester, and then you go to the NBA. That's how it works. Who ever thought like Coach K would be the capital of one and done, and yet that is what he's found.
That's what Calipari is saying.
It's cool now. It's cool for Coach K to have one and done, but with like Cal and other guys.
Cal wants to do it. Let's talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves because they dropped a home game against the Grizzlies last night. Our friend Amin El Hassan texted every single member of the Jump staff to say, this is one of the games that will come back to haunt you, as he likes to sing. Look at the race for 8th in the West. The Wolves now just a game and a half ahead of the Nuggets. So, Tracy, I'm not going to do the singing voice that Amin does, but will this come back to haunt the Wolves?
I think they will make the playoffs. I don't think it'll come back to hunt them. However, they have put themselves in a bad position. I mean, this should have been a winnable game. You talk about a team
they were in the
that
fourth spot for a long time this season.
Forget all that. Let's talk about them losing to Memphis. This team just lost by 60 points last week.
Their last road game, they lost by 60 points.
60 points, and they haven't won a road game since what, New Year's or something like that?
That's correct.
If you're trying to be a playoff team, I know Jimmy Butler's gone, but you still have talent over there to weather the storm until Jimmy comes back, if he comes back. But this is a bad loss to a team that's been on vacation.
I like this question bar at the bottom here. Is it a bad look? It ain't a good look.
No, it's not a good look.
Since in the last 2 months, now they actually have had some decent wins, but in the last 2 months, the Wolves have lost to the Hawks, to the Grizzlies, to the Bulls,
Bad loss.
and to the Nets.
Like, come on.
Those 4 losses are the difference between being on the 8th seed bubble and being in the 4th seed. And when you have an injury like that to Jimmy Butler, you cannot let winnable games go through your fingers like that. And so this has been a disappointing couple of months for the Wolves. This is a team that we thought had a chance to be a second-round team this year and put some roots down to be a challenger down the line. They have regressed, and it's not just regressed because of Jimmy Butler's injury.
Well, Tibbs was pretty vocal after the game.
No kidding.
Did not seem happy with some of his young star players.
Oh.
The Wolves did just post a picture on social of Jimmy. Was he working out, producer Danny? And they were saying he's getting progress, is what they said. So
you can't rush a knee. I mean, you can't rush a knee injury. They can't assume he's going to save him.
He needs to come back.
Tracy's like, he better. On the other end of that game, the Grizzlies, again, didn't maybe get the outcome they wanted either because they defied their Tank Wars positioning. This was their first road game win of the calendar year, as Tracy points out. Their last one was on New Year's Eve at Sacramento. And I want to take a look at the bottom of the standings.
Look at the Suns opening up a little gap.
God.
This is so
This is
sad.
awesome.
Bad, man.
This is so sad. Meanwhile, Knicks fans are sad. They're not even in this on this full screen.
The Suns, the tank is on full effect. They've lost 12 in a row.
Right? So how do you feel about the Grizzlies? What's your reaction to seeing this? Because as a player, though, you always want to win, right?
You always want to win, but, I mean, we had a coach that, was on this show, that was coaching this team. Culture would be a lot different if he was there. These guys, they don't want to play basketball. You can see it. I mean, it's not inspiring basketball. Your best player, he shows up when he wants to and play, and I'm talking about Marc Gasol. Yes, I am. It's just not a good look for these guys to, have their first win since January 1st.
Right.
Secure the bag.
Secure the Bag League, by the way, is the best work of the producing staff, although waiting for Ayton is, of course, the favorite of them because producer Danny,
Bear down.
producer Ayton,
The thing about it is, when they lost a 61-point game, they lost to Charlotte. I mean, no offense to Charlotte, but again, it's not the 86 Celtics that they lost to. To lose by 61 points and win your next road game in a game that the home team had to have, that's as big of a turnaround as I've ever seen in an NBA regular season. I really can't.
By accident, right? It wasn't on purpose.
Well, it couldn't have been. Let's put it this way. There were a lot of stunned people in that building last night, and the Grizzlies were some of them.
Yeah, there you go. Coming up, Isaiah Thomas's hip remains an issue. He is not with the Lakers right now. How does this impact his future? Stay tuned.